Ladies and gentlemen, here's a powerful and gripping intro for your motivational speech featuring Shi Heng Yi with the theme, Urgent Message. You were chosen for this battle. Victory is this month of July. In the stillness of every storm, there comes a voice, a call not to the ordinary, but to the chosen. This isn't just another month. This is your month. July arrives with purpose, and it does not knock softly. It demands your attention, your strength, your clarity. It demands you rise. Today, Shi Heng Yi delivers a message that pierces through the noise, a message for warriors, for those forged in struggle, for the ones who dare to believe that this battle was not an accident, but a divine assignment. The weight you've been carrying, the challenges you've been enduring, they were not punishment. They were preparation. This is not about survival. This is about victory. The shift is happening now. The inner war must be won before the outer victory can be claimed. And July is the battleground. In this moment, your clarity will become your weapon, your discipline will become your armor, and your purpose that will be your guiding force. You were not abandoned in the fight. You were appointed to lead it. This message is not just urgent. It is divine. You were chosen for this. And victory is no longer a distant dream. It is this month's promise. Let the warrior within awaken. Being chosen means responsibility, not comfort. Your current struggle is proof of your divine assignment. This idea, though simple on the surface, runs deep into the heart of personal growth and spiritual awakening. Many people think being chosen means being favored in an easy or effortless way, as if blessings will fall into place without resistance. But those who are truly chosen often walk the hardest paths. They are given heavier loads, tougher trials, and deeper pain, not as punishment, but as preparation. To be chosen is to be entrusted with something larger than yourself. It means you are not allowed to live like everyone else because your calling demands more from you. The discomfort you face is not random. It's a refining process, molding your character and building spiritual endurance that will be needed for the greater responsibilities ahead. The struggle you're facing now is the clearest evidence that your life has meaning. If your presence didn't carry power, you wouldn't be under pressure. Pressure only exists where potential lives. Diamonds aren't formed in comfort. They're created in heat, time, and intense pressure. You are not being broken, you are being shaped. Every challenge you meet, every time you're pushed to your limit, every moment you feel like giving up is a sign that you are undergoing divine preparation. The universe, life, God, whatever name you give the higher power, does not waste trials on those who are not meant to rise through them. You are not facing battles because you are weak. You are facing battles because you are being made strong. Most people search for meaning in blessings, but the chosen find purpose in hardship. They don't wait for life to become easier to rise, they rise while life is still difficult. This is the responsibility of the chosen, to carry light even when the world feels dark, to continue walking even when the path is unclear, to trust the process even when nothing around them seems to make sense. It's not about having all the answers. It's about having unwavering faith that the storm is shaping something essential within you. What separates those who are chosen from those who merely exist is not talent or luck. It's endurance, resilience, and the willingness to walk through fire knowing there is something sacred on the other side. When the weight feels unbearable, that is often when the breakthrough is near. The enemy attacks those who are about to step into their next level. Distractions increase, doubts intensify, fears grow louder, but these are all signs that you're close. The weight of responsibility may feel overwhelming, but it is a sign of spiritual elevation. You are being called to build a foundation so strong that others will be able to stand upon it. Your story is not just for you, it's a blueprint for someone else's survival. That's what it means to be chosen. Your trials aren't private, they are preparation for a public purpose. The scars you carry now will one day become the source of someone else's healing, but only if you stay the course. Your discomfort is not the enemy, it is the compass. It's pointing you to the areas where growth is being demanded. If everything around you feels like it's falling apart, it may be because something inside you is finally coming together. Being chosen doesn't mean the road will be smooth, but it does mean you are being guided, even in silence. The voice of struggle is the language of transformation. Those who are chosen must become fluent in it. They must learn to interpret fear as a signal to move forward, not backward. They must recognize resistance not as a stop sign, but as a sign of proximity to their purpose. July is a month of transformation. The shift from internal chaos to internal mastery begins now. Transformation does not arrive with loud announcements or dramatic moments. Often, it comes in stillness, in the quiet realization that something within must change. July carries with it a unique energy, a decisive turning point that pushes you to confront what has been simmering beneath the surface. The chaos you feel inside, the confusion, the emotional weight, the mental battles, all of it has been building to this moment. It is no longer about suppressing what you feel or pretending to be unaffected. It is about facing the disorder within and making a conscious decision to master it. Internal chaos often shows up in the form of self-doubt, hesitation, fear of failure, or lingering pain from the past. It can be loud or subtle, but it always disrupts progress. It clouds your focus, weakens your discipline, and steals your momentum. What makes July significant is not that it will erase the chaos, but that it demands you rise above it. This is the month to turn inward with courage, to examine the parts of yourself you've avoided, to acknowledge the patterns that keep repeating, and to decide that you will no longer be ruled by what once broke you. This is the month you reclaim power from your past and redirect it into your purpose. Internal mastery is not about perfection. It's about taking ownership. It's knowing that you can't control everything that happens around you, but you can choose how you respond. It's being able to observe your emotions without being consumed by them. It's choosing intentional responses over impulsive reactions. It's about developing the mental strength to stay grounded when everything else feels unstable. July challenges you to develop this kind of strength, to become the calm in your own storm, to lead yourself even when no one else sees the work you're doing. This transformation will require discipline. The discipline to stop feeding distractions, the discipline to let go of toxic attachments, the discipline to show up every day with focus and alignment, even when motivation fades. The chaos within is often tied to unresolved emotional cycles, and breaking them demands effort. July is not a passive month. It is a month of choice, of action, of intentional change. Every day presents an opportunity to respond differently, to move with clarity rather than confusion, to honor progress over perfection. This shift from internal chaos to mastery is also spiritual. It requires reconnecting with your deeper self, the part of you that remembers who you are when the noise dies down. This part of you knows your strength. It knows your worth. It knows your purpose, but it has been buried under layers of distraction, comparison, fear, and doubt. July is the invitation to peel those layers back and remember, to return to center, to stop seeking validation from the world and instead affirm your own path from within. Transformation is not a single moment, it is a series of choices. The choice to wake up early and meditate instead of scrolling. The choice to speak kindly to yourself. The choice to push through discomfort instead of avoiding it. These small, consistent acts are what create inner mastery. This month calls you to stop waiting for peace to arrive from the outside and begin building it on the inside. You already carry the tools focus, discipline, awareness, and intention. July is simply the moment you are being called to use them with consistency and courage. The discomfort you feel is a sign that change is already underway. The inner tension is not a signal to stop, but to go deeper, to understand yourself more fully, and to take control of your internal world so that nothing external can overpower you again. Every obstacle you face is a disguised invitation to unlock a deeper level of self, discipline, and clarity. Challenges are not random. They are strategically placed in your path to expose what still needs strengthening within you. Life rarely asks permission before placing weight on your shoulders. Instead, it observes how you carry it, how you respond under pressure, and how committed you are to evolving through it. When obstacles appear, the natural reaction is frustration, confusion, or retreat. But those who are awakening begin to ask a better question. What is this here to teach me? This shift in perspective is where personal power begins to emerge. It marks the moment you stop being a victim of circumstances and start becoming the architect of your internal world. Self-discipline is forged in the fire of resistance. It's easy to be focused when everything flows. It's easy to be motivated when things go your way. But the true test comes when doors close, when delays show up, when plans fall apart. Obstacles strip away distractions and reveal where your foundation still needs reinforcement. They push you to build consistency not based on how you feel, but based on who you are becoming. Each setback trains you to rely less on comfort and more on inner structure. It is in those moments where nothing external is cooperating that your internal discipline must rise. That discipline is not just about doing more, it's about doing what matters most, even when no one sees, even when you are tired, even when the reward feels far away. Clarity emerges through pressure. The more intense the challenge, the more focused your energy must become. You begin to see what drains you, what strengthens you, and what deserves your attention. When you are forced to confront limitations, you also begin to see through illusions. You notice the habits that no longer serve you, the beliefs that limit you, and the excuses that once comforted you but now keep you stuck. This awareness is the beginning of clarity. You stop trying to control what cannot be controlled and instead sharpen your focus on what you can master. Your mindset, your habits, your choices, your attitude. The chaos around you becomes a mirror, reflecting areas within that are asking for order, commitment, and clarity of vision. Every obstacle is a spiritual mirror. It reflects the parts of you that are ready to grow but haven't yet been stretched. It reveals where your boundaries are too loose, where your focus is scattered, and where your energy is leaking. The gift of resistance is not just growth, it is awareness. It helps you see your blind spots and reconnect with the version of yourself that is capable of moving through the obstacle with grace and strength. There is something sacred in difficulty. It carves you out, refines you, and prepares you to carry greater responsibility. Growth rarely comes wrapped in comfort. It shows up as tension, as delay, as hardship, all of which invite you to become more intentional and powerful with your time and presence. The obstacle is never the enemy. Avoiding it only postpones your transformation. Embracing it, facing it, moving through it with focused energy, that is where evolution happens. You start to realize that life is not happening to you, but through you. And the deeper your self-discipline becomes, the more clearly you begin to walk through each challenge with confidence rather than fear. You no longer need everything to align externally because you are anchored internally. This is the path to mastery. This is how you stop being distracted by resistance and begin using it as fuel for progress. The obstacles that used to break you begin to build you. They serve as training grounds, not threats. They sharpen your mind, test your heart, and build the emotional strength that ease could never provide. Victory does not belong to the strongest, it belongs to the most focused and spiritually aligned. In a world obsessed with power, speed, and domination, it's easy to assume that sheer strength guarantees success. But real victory is never simply about physical might or loud ambition. It is about internal alignment, about being in tune with your purpose, your values, and the greater mission you've been assigned to fulfill. Strength without direction leads to chaos. Drive without clarity leads to burnout. But focus, pure, intentional, unwavering focus, creates movement that is both powerful and sustainable. When your mind, spirit, and actions are aligned, you no longer chase victory. You attract it by embodying the energy required to sustain it. The power of focus lies in its simplicity. It eliminates distraction. It silences the noise. It pulls your attention away from comparison, from overthinking, from fear-driven urgency, and brings it back to what truly matters. Focus demands that you commit to one thing at a time and commit fully. It does not allow for the fragmentation of your energy, and when that focus is driven by spiritual alignment, it becomes nearly unstoppable. Spiritual alignment is not religious performance, it is inner clarity. It's the unshakable knowing of who you are, why you are here, and what you are building. When your spirit is aligned with your actions, your efforts become infused with deeper meaning. You begin to operate not from desperation but from grounded confidence. Many chase victory by constantly doing more, pushing harder, staying busy. But movement is not always progress. True progress comes when your actions are guided by purpose and sustained by focus. Without alignment, your energy leaks through every open door. You say yes to things that don't serve you. You pursue goals that aren't yours. You end up exhausted, overcommitted, and disconnected from your original mission. But when you are spiritually aligned, every yes is intentional. Every step is deliberate. You are not moved by urgency, but by clarity. You are not driven by fear of missing out, but by trust in divine timing. That trust becomes your strength. That alignment becomes your guide. There is a quiet power in knowing exactly what you are here to do. It gives you peace in the chaos. It gives you direction when the world around you shifts. And most importantly, it allows you to let go of battles that aren't yours. Not every fight requires your energy. Not every opportunity is meant for you. Not every door must be walked through. Focus means choosing where to place your energy and having the discipline to protect that choice. Spiritual alignment gives you the wisdom to know which direction to go and the inner strength to stay on course, even when it's difficult or lonely. Victory doesn't come when everything is perfect. It comes when you are consistent. When you show up on the days that feel heavy, when you stay disciplined in the dark, when you remain aligned with your purpose in a world full of distractions. The strongest people are not always the ones who win. The most focused and spiritually grounded individuals often outlast, outgrow, and outpace those who appear stronger at the surface. This is because they have built something far more powerful than brute strength. They have built internal stability. They move with conviction, not confusion. They operate with intention, not impulse. They are not constantly shaken by every challenge because they are anchored to something deeper than circumstances. Victory is not an external trophy. It's an internal state of being where your actions align with your mission, your mind is clear, your spirit is steady, and your energy is directed toward meaningful progress. This is the essence of true power. It's not about dominating others but mastering yourself, not about appearing strong but becoming focused, aligned, and disciplined from within. The people who win the long game are rarely the loudest. They are the most centered. They are not scattered by the world's pace because they move at the rhythm of their own inner truth. Your purpose is louder than your pain, and this month, that purpose must lead every decision. Pain has a way of trying to become the loudest voice in the room. It echoes through your thoughts, fills your mind with doubts, and tempts you to slow down or stop altogether. But beneath that noise, there is something deeper calling out, something more powerful, more consistent, and far more meaningful. That voice is purpose, and purpose does not disappear when pain shows up. It becomes more necessary. It becomes the compass that guides you through the storm, When everything around you feels unstable, your purpose is the anchor. It reminds you why you started, who you are, and what you are building. It holds your focus when emotions try to pull you off course. In moments of suffering, confusion, or delay, people often allow pain to dictate their actions. They retreat, they hesitate, they self-sabotage. But pain is not meant to lead you, it is meant to inform you. It reveals what still needs healing, where you've been neglecting yourself, or what boundaries have been violated. But it is your purpose that should determine what comes next. Purpose reminds you that the current discomfort is temporary, but the mission is eternal. Purpose sees the bigger picture, even when your emotions only see the immediate challenge. And in the month of July, as pressure rises and distractions increase, the ability to let purpose lead your decisions becomes more essential than ever. When you make decisions based on purpose rather than pain, you begin to reclaim your power. You stop reacting and start responding. You stop spiraling and start creating. You begin to evaluate opportunities not by how easy or comfortable they are, but by whether they align with your assignment. Pain makes you want to quit. Purpose gives you the courage to continue. And in this season, continuation is the real strength. Not flashy moves, not dramatic progress, but quiet, committed endurance. The kind of progress that compounds over time. The kind of growth that doesn't always show up immediately, but transforms everything in the long run. July is not about waiting for pain to disappear. It's about moving forward with purpose despite the pain. It's about letting that purpose shape your routine, define your priorities, and fuel your discipline. When you're led by purpose, you stop needing motivation. You become intentional. You start saying no to what drains you. You stop trying to please everyone. You stop measuring your progress against someone else's timeline. You realize that the most powerful decisions are not made when everything is going right, but when things are messy and you choose alignment anyway. That is where strength is born. That is where transformation begins to take root. There will be moments this month where your body feels tired, your heart feels heavy, and your mind is filled with doubt. But purpose doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for presence. It asks that you remember why you are here and what is at stake if you stop now. Pain will whisper excuses. It will tell you that you're not enough, that you've missed your moment, that you should wait until you feel better. But purpose will whisper something stronger, that your breakthrough is hidden in your obedience, that your consistency matters more than your emotions, and that your impact reaches further than you realize. Purpose doesn't just live in grand moments. It's in the small daily choices that align with your higher calling. Letting purpose lead means you build from within first. You stop outsourcing your worth and start honoring your truth. You stop chasing validation and begin living in alignment. Your steps become steady, your mind becomes clear. You become a force not because you are without struggle, but because you are guided by something greater than struggle. This is the real power of purpose. It does not remove pain, but it transforms how you carry it. It gives weight to every step you take. It brings meaning to every moment of resistance. It turns trials into training and setbacks into spiritual strategy. The battle is not outside you. The real battle is to rise above the limitations within. It is easy to look at circumstances, people, and obstacles and believe that they are the enemy standing in your way. But the truth is, the most difficult battles are fought internally. They are the unseen wars between who you were and who you are becoming, between comfort and growth, between fear and faith. External challenges may spark the fight, but it is your response, your mindset, your ability to master your inner world that determines whether you move forward or remain stuck. The battle is the resistance you feel when you try to change. It's the doubt that creeps in when you're about to take a leap. It's the fear that makes you shrink when you were meant to rise. These inner barriers are more dangerous than any opposition outside of you because they control how you interpret and respond to everything that happens. Every limitation you face internally was either inherited, conditioned, or developed through experience. Limiting beliefs about your worth, your ability, or your future don't appear overnight. They were often installed when you were younger, shaped by pain, failure, or the expectations of others. And now they live in your subconscious, influencing your behavior without your awareness. These beliefs whisper quietly that you are not ready, that you are not capable, that you are too late or too flawed. They keep you from taking risks. They cause you to settle for less. They keep you in patterns of avoidance and procrastination, making you think that playing small is safer. But safety is not your calling. Growth is, expansion is, victory is, and that victory cannot be reached without confronting and dismantling the mental and emotional walls that block your progress. The reason inner battles are so exhausting is because they require deep honesty. It's easy to blame your environment or your circumstances, but much harder to look in the mirror and admit that it's your own fears and habits holding you back. That's the work most people avoid. That's the work that separates the seekers from the doers. Rising above internal limitations demands that you question everything you've accepted as truth. It demands that you examine your habits, confront your excuses, and hold yourself accountable. It requires that you become conscious of your thoughts instead of being controlled by them. You begin to notice the stories you've been telling yourself, stories about why you can't, why it won't work, why it's too late, and you begin the work of rewriting them. The battle within is ongoing, but it is not without tools. You have the ability to retrain your mind. You have the power to replace limiting thoughts with empowering ones. You have the discipline to build new habits, to focus your energy, and to protect your peace. Meditation, self-reflection, journaling, physical movement, spiritual alignment, all of these are weapons in the inner war. The more consistently you use them, the more self-aware and mentally strong you become. You begin to notice when your energy shifts. You catch yourself before falling back into old cycles. You start making decisions from a place of alignment instead of fear. And slowly, you begin to change not just your mindset, but your identity. You stop being someone who is constantly fighting yourself, and you become someone who leads yourself. The shift from internal conflict to internal leadership is subtle, but powerful. It doesn't mean you no longer feel fear. It means fear no longer makes your decisions. It doesn't mean you never feel doubt. It means doubt no longer dictates your behavior. You become someone who can be trusted with their own potential, someone who doesn't fold under pressure, but finds strength in it. That strength doesn't come from outside validation. It comes from daily discipline, emotional intelligence, and the decision to keep rising even when the inner battle gets loud. The real victory begins the moment you choose to no longer be at war with yourself, but instead commit to leading yourself forward with clarity, courage, and conviction.